All eyes on Georgia this week, where for the fourth time, we're expecting to see former President Donald Trump surrender himself to court to face criminal charges. With me now is Eric Ham, CTV's political analyst. Eric, good morning to you. So walk us through what is going to happen in Georgia this week. Trump is on a deadline to surrender there to authorities. Tell us more.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I'm standing right behind the jail where Donald Trump and his other 18 co-defendants are expected to surrender themselves at some point this week. Now, we have heard from Donald Trump's people that he is expected to turn himself in either Thursday or Friday. We still don't know the details on when some of his other more high-profile co-defendants will also turn themselves in, namely his former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, who we know is also actually fighting this case in court, saying that because he was a federal officer, he should be immune from local charges. In addition to that, we're still waiting to learn when Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump's lawyer during the 2020 election process, also when he will turn himself in as well. But they're all expected to be here at some point this week. And we're told the entire process is only going to take about 10 minutes, where they will be processed, meaning they will have their fingerprints taken, their mugshots taken as well, and that the process will be over in a matter of minutes, and then they'll be on their way. And then from there, they will go to the magistrate judge, which is actually back in downtown Fulton County, where the courthouse is, where they will have the charges officially read to them. Now, Donald Trump is expected to be here later this week, and we're told his official arraignment before a judge will take place early next week.
Yeah, and they've made it abundantly clear there in Atlanta that Trump will be treated like everybody else. So yes, he will be fingerprinted. Who knows if we'll get to see that mugshot. Eric, yesterday, former President Trump announced on his social media that he would not be participating in the GOP presidential debate in Milwaukee, and he kind of hinted he may not participate in any of the debates. He's gonna sit at least this one out. Talk to us about the strategy behind that decision.
Well, based on the latest CBS poll that just came out this weekend, it seems as though it agrees with Donald Trump. That poll shows that Donald Trump has extended his lead over the field. He is now leading his closest competitor by nearly 46 points. And so what Donald Trump is actually saying is, why do I need to debate when I am clearly the overwhelming favorite? And so that is how he is acting. In fact, Donald Trump is beginning to act as though he is the GOP nominee. And I think that's what we're seeing play out. But also, it's expected that Donald Trump, perhaps if he is here on Thursday, that will certainly take all of the oxygen, at least out of the postpartum of that initial debate, where most of the eyes will be on Donald Trump and his surrender here at the jailhouse.
Right, and he was going to be doing an interview with, well, he's not going to be on Fox, so is he going to be doing that interview with Tucker Carlson? Has that been confirmed, Eric?
Well, we have gotten conflicting reports about that. There was initially reported that Donald Trump had already done the interview with Tucker Carlson. Remember, Tucker Carlson was the Fox News host who was fired after that massive lawsuit was settled with Dominion Voting over allegations surrounding the 2020 election. But then we were told that Donald Trump had not confirmed anything at this point. So again, this is Donald Trump, I think, playing the strings of the media, and he's going to do that, I think, throughout this week. But it's going to be a consequential week, because even though Donald Trump will not be on that debate stage, it will, for the first time, give many Republican voters an opportunity to see a lot of these candidates for the first time. And of course, it'll be very interesting to see if Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is seen as the runner-up to Donald Trump, if he can actually hold that position, or will people like Vivek Ramaswamy or Chris Christie overtake him after that debate?
Eric, thank you for all that. We'll be in close contact with you all week. As you say, a consequential week for the former president.